What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of Pips and Points. I'm your host Jono, and today it's back to normal. We're going to be talking about what we always talk about, which is the NAS100. Before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to all my Piptonites. Those awesome human beings are my subscribers. Guys, you are the best. Got so much love for you, and I thank you for continuing to support me as I aim to deliver the best possible technical analysis I possibly can for your viewing pleasure. Obviously, it's educational purposes as well, but yeah. And also, I want to give a special shout out to all the new guys that just found my channel for the first time. Guys, welcome to Pips and Points. On this channel, we mainly talk about the NAS100, and what I do is I just analyze the market based on the plays I'm planning on making in the coming days and weeks. Now, in saying that, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a guru, right? I'm a regular guy just like you. They just spent a bit of time learning technical analysis. Hence why I can come on here with a degree of confidence and share with you some of the stuff I've learned and some of the stuff that you can obviously use to benefit yourself. Now, it is super important that you do your own research. You check the work that I do, especially if you're planning on making entries in the markets based on what you've seen. Right, it's super important that you check the work because I do make mistakes, right? So in saying that, if you haven't done so already, and if you find the content useful in any way, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, drop a like, leave me a comment, right? These things will cost you absolutely nothing, but will help the algorithm to help get this video out to as many people as possible, which is what I kind of want, right? And yep, so with that all covered, we're gonna get straight into it. So on Friday, well, before we even get into that, not Friday, sorry, Monday, right? So before I even get into that, let me turn all these on. So on Monday, I was basically saying that there's a good chance that price will come down to this zone right here, which is in reference to this order block over here, right? And this order block has been visited 3 times already, okay? And this would be actually not even 3 times, 4 times. So it's one over here, then we had one that was the wick liquidity grab, then we had a second, then we had a third, and now this is the 4th time that is coming. And I was saying that I did not think that price was going to stay in this zone at all. I didn't think it was going to respect it, and I believe that at this level down here, which is level 1234 6.84, is a good zone for it to do a bounce from, right? And if it did do a bounce at that level, it would make this overall structure that we got here, it would make a lot of sense in regards to the fact that the next push back up will be up to this zone, which is this order block right here. Okay, so at the moment that is kind of coming true, right? It's coming true. It looks like it's about to happen. So we do have a wick that is pushing up at the moment, right? But I don't think this is the bounce. So I'm just going to zoom in closer and I will explain why. So this red, parabolic red that we had to the downside, okay, if you look at this candle properly, right, you can see it's heavily weighted. There was no wick underneath it. It's just pushed all the way down, right? And it has produced this bullish wick over here, and this bullish wick is obviously pushing up, right? But in my opinion, I don't think this is going to hold. I think either later on this evening it's going to push down and give us a bigger red, right? Bullish candle looks like a consolidation to me, in my opinion. Okay, so, and also MACD also confirmed this is a low as well, right? And if you look at the MACD on the bigger scale, we can actually see in where we have the cross at the moment and how it's kind of pushed down even further, okay? There's a good chance that it's not going to start to curl back up again anytime soon. It's literally, I think, in my opinion, it's going to push down a little bit more. That's what I think, right? So let's go into a lower time frame to see exactly why I think that, right? Now on a lower time frame, actually, as a matter of fact, let me just get out another chart, a brand new chart, right? So let's get this chart up, and we're just gonna bin everything that's in here. We're just gonna make it nice and clean and fresh. So if you look on the 4 hourly, this is confirmed as a high, right? Okay, and this one here is pretty much going to be a high, but we need to wait a little bit just to see what it does. But this one's pretty much going to be a high, but this here is a low, right? And this here is another low. And what we have, especially on the 4 hourly, is that price has broken through that low and it's now hovering around this zone, right? Which is this order block over here. So it's hovering around this order block over here, and as you can see, price has visited that block, right? Now normally you would say, okay, price could push all the way, back up, revisit this particular order block and come down. Eventually it will, but I don't think it's going to do that right now. And as you can see, this consolidation that we've got going on right here, okay, there's a very good chance it's going to break down. There is a very good chance it's going to break down because it's running out of steam at this level right now, right? And visit the MACD again on the 4 hourly, right? You can kind of see that the push that it needs to the upside is really small. It is really small, okay? So that also gives me confidence that this is kind of going to be breaking down also, all right? And then in covering that, so tomorrow we know we're going to be getting some news in regards to the US market, and today is Wednesday, so that news hasn't released. So normally when there is a massive gap for news to be released and the market is in a trend, the market will usually stay in that zone. It usually stay in that trend until the news will break out, and if the news breaks and the news is strong enough to reverse its position, then it will. But for now, I don't think it's going to do that. And also as well, right, some of the things I also like to keep an eye on is actually the overall, how the wicks themselves look. I mean, the candles look. So as you can see it's consolidating up. So we've got 4 bullish bars on the way up, right? Then we've got a doji, right? A doji, whatever name you want to call this thing, whatever. Like, I don't really bother too much about it. The actual names of it is more or less what it does. So this could be a doji, it might not be a doji, it looks like a doji, or it could be a falling star. No, a shooting star, as sometimes people call it. But yeah, this particular candle over here, the wick, the powerful wick that he has pushed all the way down, basically means it always means one thing and one thing only: it has to be filled. It has to be filled. And we've got a red over here that is also pushing down, so we now need to see what this is going to do. If it pushes down and it breaks this level right here, okay, then it's fair to say that it's still got a lot more pushing down to do, and that zone that I mentioned earlier, price will be returning to it. So we're just going to go into an hourly, right, and then see how this overall structure is faring, okay. And as you can see, we have a lot of consolidation. It's super busy on this level. It cannot break above this level right here, okay. So this order block right here, it's not breaking above it. It's not breaking above it. It is struggling to break above it. It's really fighting. As you can see, the build up in this area, and there's a very good chance, like I said, it's gonna break down. But like I said, don't hold me to this, because I'm not a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not a guru. Like, I cannot see the future. All I can see is what the market is doing and what it's most likely to do at any given moment. And right now, I personally believe it is going to break down, and it's going to break past this low right here. It's going to shoot past this low right here and come down even further. So let's go back into our original drawing that we did, okay? And we can see that this level, this zone, so the zone of 1276.3.39 and 1231.6.90 is looking like a likely area for this for price to visit this week, right? And then next week, because today is Wednesday, so tomorrow news is going to break, right? And depending on what happens tonight, it could land in here somewhere, right? And then if price pushes up, if the news make the price push up tomorrow or Friday, right, then it's clear that, okay, this is what we believe is going to happen. and what I believe will happen if the news does impact the market in any way, right? And I personally think it will. I think this particular news that's coming out, it is going to impact the market. It's going to make the market move in the other direction, right? So this is what I'm saying. Let me just get all this in a nice little shape and I'll explain what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying price is going to push up like it did. This wick down here needs to be filled, so price is definitely going to go lower than that. I don't think it's going to respect this zone at all, right? And this is what I think. I think it might do something like this, produce a new lower high, and then come down here somewhere. And this is between now and Friday, and then between now and then between Friday, sorry, and then from Monday onwards, we could get this push up to this zone over here. It's not going to happen in a day. That's one thing I can promise you. It's not going to happen in a day. It's going to be a couple of days or a couple of weeks move, but this is what it's most likely going to do. Most likely going to do. And then once it reaches this level, which is the order block for this zone right here, right? Because it could even go to this zone, right? Or it could even come to this zone. It could come to this zone. This zone seems more likely to me than the top one. That one will happen after, in my opinion. That is what will come after. So that is what will come if it decides it really wants to push up, right? But like I say, this downtrend that we've got in regards to the NAS, we might be in it for a little while. We might be in it for a little while. So I don't think price is going to break above these levels anytime soon. Okay, many people have called this out. If you go through my video catalog a few months back, there was one particular gentleman, he actually called it out. He was taking sells. I was telling him I was biased in taking buys. But yeah, you can see for yourself. So a lot of people actually know what they're doing on this channel as they're coming to watch the analysis, and they have been taking sells, although I've been taking buys because I'm more looking at the potential on the upside. But now, in terms of how I take my buys, I can't take the buys in anticipation of going all the way. I need to see other moves happen before I decide I'm going to do that. A good move I could see, that a good move that could happen, that will say, hey, Jono, take the buy, right? Is I will show you right now what I would expect the market to do in order for me to consider taking a buy. I will need it to produce a higher low. So a higher low, say somewhere around here, right? And then push up. And then push up. And then push up, right? And then if it pushes up, and say it pushes up to about this level, where it's produced a higher high, then it's fair to say that that level will be broken at some point. Price may come down to around this level, may do, and then push up and create a new higher high, right, in regards to this overall structure. And then at which point we're going to know that the good old days is on its way back, and then literally we can just ride the gravy train like we've done in the past. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the list of the main components of the NASDAQ to see how they've been behaving within these last 2 days. So let's start with Tesla, right? So I said Tesla was going to be pushing down, and it's taking the shape that looks like it wants to push down, right? It started to consolidate, and the structure, going by how I think is going to look in the future, right? I think it's going to look something like this. This is for Tesla. It's going to make moves like this. And then break down. But we will know if that is true or not in the coming days and week. So far Tesla is telling us, oh, sorry guys, my apologies. I'm actually looking at this in the wrong frame. So let's go to a day, right? And we can see the Tesla kind of has the same type of structure as the NAS. The only difference is that this one is a bearish wick, and on the NAS it's a bullish wick, right? But we can see that it's pushing down. It is giving us a signal for a sell. So we're just going to get rid of this for now, this little trend line for now. I'm just going to leave it like that. So Tesla is saying it wants to go down. Let's look at Google. Well, Google's gone down even further. Okay, so Google's gone down even further, right? We're going to zoom in and we're going to see how it actually looks. Well, we got like a doji star, whatever you want to call it, but what it is that major consolidation going on at this level. It's not sure what it wants to do, but once again, the gap is something we need to keep an eye on, because that will need to be filled at some point in the near future. All right, so that is Google. Google is pointing south. Okay, so then, like the structure that I drew for Amazon, let me okay, so it's actually a little bit wider, so we're just going to draw it like this, right? Amazon is still going down. So even from where I drew it last what day is this? Wednesday. So where I drew it on Monday, we can see that it's gone down a lot further than what I drew. So I drew it from up here saying it's going to push up, and as you can see, it's gone down even further, right? So it's still pointing down. It's all in our favor if you're looking for bias to the upside in regards of NAS. Everything is moving in our favor. The first 3 stocks that we've looked at are all pointing south. All pointing south. So let's look at Netflix, and we already know what Netflix is going to do, but let's just have a look anyways, right? Straight to hell. Straight to hell. Straight to hell. Like, this is going all the way down. Like, I am looking forward to seeing Netflix below $100. I'm not going to lie to you. I am so looking forward to seeing Netflix below $100. Hopefully it will go as low as $40, because then it will be a steal. It will be a steal. Alright, so moving on, Netflix is pointing south, which is good for us in regards to where we want to pick up NAS. So it looks like NAS is definitely going to be going to the area where we expect it to. So let's see what the other major composites have to say. Apple. Okay, so Apple is still pushing down. Apple is still pushing south. It's given a green indicator to say it's going up. But if I zoom in closer, we can see that it is going up, but the overall position is south. It is south, so that is going down too. And Facebook, I thought Facebook was going to bounce from this level. I actually did, but Facebook is still flying down as well, so it's going negative, which is also good for our position in regards to the NAS, right? Now, Microsoft is the first out the gate. It's pushing to the upside, as we can see here. So Microsoft is pushing to the upside, so that's looking promising. That is looking very promising, but we'll see, because this wick is lower than this one. So will it push down further, or will it go up even more? So that's something that we're going to be keeping an eye on for the coming days, right? And then we've got Nvidia. So Nvidia has definitely broken the structure, right? It broke it when I first did the technicals on that. It broke it because I drew it over here, and I'm like, okay, cool, it's broken that. Will it hit this level and break? And it looks like it's gone to that level, and it hasn't bounced, and it's broken through. So it's going to go a little bit lower, and there are a couple of stops it could go down to. So where it is right now, I'm thinking that it's going to go down to 177.73, right? And then we'll see what it does at that level. But Nvidia is going down also. And then we have PayPal. PayPal too is going down, right? It is going down. Yeah, it is going down, right? And then Pepsi is going up. So Microsoft and Pepsi are pushing to the upside. Yeah, now Microsoft and Pepsi are pushing to the upside, and all the rest are pointing downwards, right? Let's continue looking. All right. And and EA is also pushing down as well. So EA is pushing down, and EA is holding a kind of structural pose at the moment that lets me know it's probably going to go down even further. And that is this whole situation is got going on here, right? And if you look, because this high is lower than this high, there's a good chance it could break from this level where it is right now. It could break from this level where it is right now. So that's how it's looking for EA right now. Okay, so that too is pushing down. And then we have eBay. So let me redraw this properly so everything is more symmetrical. And I'll just say eBay is holding its structure at the moment. Okay, so on Friday's video, we will know exactly where everything is to a certain degree. But eBay looks like it's pushing down for now. Okay, which kind of confirms my vibe in regards to where I think the NAS is going to go down to. And then we have the NAS, which is giving us a bullish wick at the moment. It's giving us a bullish wick. So I'm looking at this bullish wick right now, and I'm like, you know what? This is more or less a consolidation. And like I said earlier in the earlier part of this video, this pretty much is a consolidation. Okay, it's going to push down even further. So between now and Friday, let's see where the NAS goes. If you're taking sales right now, I would recommend bring in a trailing stop to lock in the profits that you have, because should this thing decide to turn around, I have a feeling it's going to do it violently. It's going to swing up by a serious amount of pips, okay? And you don't want to get caught out by losing out too much. But it depends on what your actual strategy is, because you might be selling from a long time ago, and you might obviously want to hold that sell for as long as possible. But in my case, how I'm looking at the situation is, if you've made a lot of gains as it's been flying down, and you haven't done so already, but I believe if you've made gains this long over these moves that has been happening, you definitely are smart enough to have been locking in profits. Okay, that I know you would be doing that. Okay, so if you're not doing that, please consider it. You don't want to lose all your gains. And remember, the market isn't going anywhere. It's staying exactly where it is. So what it is you want to do is, you don't want to sit there and watch a whole heap of profits just fly through your hands because you just wanted more. It's just not sensible. It's just not sensible, right? So that would be my advice. But however, you're all adults. You know what to do. You know how to do it. Play it how you see fit. So let me see if there's anything else I need to cover before I wrap this video up. Let's see if there's anything else happening. So, I mean, as I can see, yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything. So let's see what happens. So I'm just going to bring this down here somewhere. And I'm just going to say it's going down. It is going down. So I'm going to leave it like this, right? I'm going to leave it like this, okay? And my opinion is that the NAS has not done finished falling. It's going to continue to fall, and the price point that we'd be looking at, that I would be looking at, I should say, to jump on would be 12.31.8.29, okay, or 12766.19. In around that zone is where I'll be looking to jump on, depending on what I see and how I see it. Okay, so with that said, guys, I want to thank you for giving me your precious time and coming over and watching another episode of Pips and Points. I truly appreciate you for it. If you haven't done so already, right, and you found the content useful in any way, please hit the subscribe button. It will help my channel, it will help it grow, and it will help it reach more people. Hit the notification, hit the like button, and drop a comment. Either where you're watching from, if you have a question, if you just want to say, hey, thanks. I'd appreciate every single one of it. I really do, right? Become a pip tonight. Just hit the subscribe button. The big red box costs you absolutely nothing, okay? Right? And thank you for your support. So you do that. I'll really appreciate that, helping the channel grow, reach more people. And I will see you in the next video, which will be on Friday. So for now, this is Jono signing out.